I have been self-producing my own music for more of my life than I haven't been producing my own music, which is kind of crazy to think about. When I was starting out, efficiency was like never really a concern. The drive to make something out of nothing always superseded any roadblocks, whether they were like technical conveniences, being organized with like my physical space, or with my DAW or templates, or even like better cable options for that matter. I think society creates expectations for everything to be like optimized. Increasing your productivity can be a positive though, and that's kind of what I want to touch on in this video, but I don't really want to give the impression that I'm trying to explain how to optimize art. It's very easy to get stuck in a cycle of like obsessing over optimization instead of actually putting that insight to use. All of these tips here are merely just like shortcuts to hitting record and capturing your idea faster. These also aren't in any like particular order either, just like an FYI. This is just the order in which I wrote them down in my notes app. Creating your own templates. I waited way too long in my journey to do this. When you have an idea or a song that's like ready to record, you shouldn't need to spend time like setting up channels, finding sounds, routing audio, and all that extra stuff. So like take an hour or two to gather your favorite like go-to VSTs, creating channels with like dedicated mic routed audio tracks and signal chains that you find yourself using the most. My template fills my own writing needs of like a vocal track, an acoustic guitar, electric for my Kemper, a drum machine, live drums with SSD if I want that kind of feel, a bass DI, a bass VST, and then like a few synth piano VSTs for blocking out like chord progressions or pads and leads. This is like generally everything that I would need in a full session anyway for writing. So when this template opens up, I'm not really spending time trying to decide like what plugin I need to open to get a good sound before losing the idea that I want to track. You can always spend time revising those VST patches or effects later if it's not the exact vibe for the song you're working on. Don't spend your writing time finding the right sound. Spend it capturing your idea. The best microphone recorder that you can use is actually the one in your pocket. I use mine multiple times, like every day, to capture melody ideas or lyrics, and sometimes I may capture like something that actually makes it to the final mix of something. When you allow yourself to be in a creative headspace in places like away from your desk, a good idea can be gone in a few seconds if it's not captured somehow. This happens for me when I'm driving, at the gym, grocery shopping, and things like that, just mainly during like mundane everyday tasks. So having something this accessible is vital to help you record and move on mentally. I'm also terrible at organizing my notes because I'm usually hitting the record button in like a hasty manner to like not forget something. So maybe spend some time every now and then like culling through what you need versus what you don't need, or just like renaming your stuff, or even naming them as you record them. That helps too. Invest as much as you can into a space that has as few roadblocks as possible. Maybe have a comfy chair that you can spend a long time in without any back pain or something like that. I really like having this boom arm on my desk, so my microphone is just like always ready to go. I just swivel it around and flip the power, turn up the mic, and hit record. It always stays routed into channel 2 of my interface, so nothing changes when I start a session. If you're capturing your idea this way, your rough demos could potentially turn out to be like in your final draft because it's probably good enough quality anyway, and this is the same signal chain I would use. So also, this pop filter never leaves the mic, so you don't have to set up a pop filter to record a vocal. It's cool. Do what you can to like soundproof your room or treat it in a way so that you don't have to retrack things later in like a nicer studio. Fill your space with furniture, spend $100 and make your own panels, or just track your sounds in like a clothing closet. Have an interface that's more catered to your process. Audio interfaces nowadays are just like so much better than they used to be. It's hard to find something like seriously bad. So pick something that has in and out options more catered to how you want to work. I really only need like 2 channels for the way that I record. One channel is for my condenser mic for like vocals and acoustic guitars, and the other is for just electric guitars, whether that's from my Kemper or direct in. Everything else I'm doing in my session is usually with like a VST. And there are no shortages of interfaces with 2 input options that are plenty good enough for a home studio. Logic Remote, if you're on Logic Pro. This is only for Logic users, sorry. But I discovered this app a few months ago, and I'm late to the game, but I feel like every software company should do something like this. I could make an entire video on how helpful this is as an app to have open in front of you as an accessory to your session, session. But just to name a few, you can remotely track instruments. So if you record things in a closet, you can control your session wirelessly from there. You can control certain parameters of plugins with a finger. You can easily sift through VST patches. You can mix the faders with your hands. You can use the piano notes and chords for quick and easy control. Most of all, it's free. Never put your instruments in a closet. When things are put away out of sight, you actually have to go out of your way to get creating. You're a lot less likely to make things with that kind of obstacle. If you have instruments that are more easily accessible in your eyesight, you're more likely to pick them up at different times of the day. When you have an idea, you're likely to practice more often. You're more likely to take care of them and clean them. And even something like creating a vibe by decorating your space with instruments can keep your brain in a creative momentum. Feedback groups. Making music alone can present a ton of different obstacles, but getting stuck in demoitis is like getting stuck in quicksand and there's nobody to help pull you out. It's so hard to get out of the spot where you've heard something a certain way too many times that you can't unhear an idea that the way that you've been cycling it in your DAW or something like that. Spend time creating a group of people that you can trust with sending your ideas to before you get to this point, or if you do get there, they can even help you steer you in a new direction. Try to take things with a grain of salt so that you're not spinning your wheels with indecision. I am the king of indecision. Let your intuition just guide you first and foremost, and let feedback come second. You should trust your gut because this is your song anyway. There is always a $30 plugin sale happening. You don't need more EQs or compressors. You likely don't need another synth. I know the drums sound cool, but more tools will not solve your creative hurdles unless you just don't have the tool required to achieve what you want to create. Like, for instance, a glitch processor or a take plugin or whatever. I've wasted so much money over the years on things that I thought would fix my issues when in really, I just needed to write a better song. So unsubscribe to all those email newsletters of plugin offers and focus on things that actually propel your writing forward. Like subscribing to my channel, boy! I could probably make this list a lot longer, so if you're interested in hearing any more tips, just let me know. I think that's it. Let's go make another song.